Hello, welcome in everyone. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Tarot and Astro Insights, and I wanted to talk to all of you today about the astrology of 2025. First and foremost, I'd like to wish everybody a happy new year. I hope you're all doing well, but I do want to talk about the energies that we are going into. And so I kept hearing that song, A Whole New World, from the Aladdin movie, and that's pretty much what 2025 is bringing forward. And so 2025 is going to be one of those years that I think is going to make history. We've got a lot going on. We've got Saturn, the lunar nodes, we've got Uranus, Neptune. All of these placements are changing signs in 2025. And so we've got all of the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, connecting through a minor triangle in the astrology, which is a very rare and powerful configuration. And so what really stood out the most for me was Saturn and Neptune. They're both entering into Aries together, and they are going to be kind of dancing together for a good portion of 2025. They're both going to be going retrograde as well, and so we're kind of at this point of initiation, and we are on the precipice of a brand new era, a brand new cycle beginning. We're kind of at that Genesis moment. So before I go any further, please feel free to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. So welcome to any new subscribers. I also would like to mention I do offer private one-on-one astrology. So if this is the year that you decide, hey, I'm ready to dig deep, I'm ready to do this soul work, and you're looking for that one-on-one coaching or that one-on-one mentorship to master your birth chart, to understand how these transits are going to be affecting you and how to work with the energies, now would be the perfect opportunity to sign up for that one-on-one coaching. I'd love to get that set up for you. There'll be a link below, so keep that in mind. But we are on the precipice of this formation of new earth that we have talked about for many years. And so this is huge. 2025 is huge. And we are at the creation point, kind of like the first book in the Bible, Genesis, right? And so the first half of 2025, we're going to have a series of significant planetary ingresses of changing signs. And this is practically where everything starts to change. And so we first start with the lunar nodes, changing signs in January. They are moving from Aries to Pisces on January 29th. We're going to have Neptune entering into Aries on March 30th, and then it's going to go retrograde on July 4th. We're going to have Saturn entering Aries a couple months later on May 24th, and it's going to go retrograde on July 13th. And so this is where the dancing of these two energies kind of come together. Jupiter's entering into Cancer this year. It's going to go retrograde on the 11/11 portal in November, and Uranus is entering in Gemini, and it's going to go retrograde in September. It goes into Gemini on July the 7th. And so these energies are pretty important, right? We've got this astrological atmosphere playing out in 2025 with all of these unprecedented shifts that are taking place. And this is going to dramatically affect our personal lives and the collective at large. And so this really is the year where everything can completely change. But we do have to shift our focus. We have to create goals, and we have to kind of shift our priorities. And so priorities are going to be changing, right? Because with the Aries Libra axis with the North Node, it was me versus we. And the Pisces Virgo axis is all about collective healing. And so the second half of 2025, we're going to have this Uranus, Neptune, Pluto minor triangle playing out. And so this is kind of going to weave together all of the changes initiated the first half of 2025. And so this really is kind of where we make sense out of all of the chaos, is what it feels like. So there's going to be rapid changes. There's going to be a merging of the lessons that we finally learned, so we can look forward to the new cycle. And so this is going to be a year of fundamental shifts. It's going to be a year of changes within our own foundational structures and the structures of society. And so we are kind of just building a whole new world. And this is not just any year. We are also going into a 9-year, numerologically speaking. 9 is all about completion. 9 is the journey of the hermit as well. And so we are truly starting a whole new era this year. So let's break it down to the important shifts throughout the year. I'm going to start off, we're going to talk about January 1st, and I'm going to try and timestamp each shift that we're going to go through. So January, we got the North Node. It's entering into Pisces. The South Node is entering into Virgo, and so we're shifting, right? We're shifting the axis of the nodes, and this is huge for the collective. This is going to change the collective dramatically from this conflict, right, that we've been struggling with, me and we, and boundaries and choosing ourselves and trying to create balance within relationships, to this newfound theme of service. Virgo Pisces is the axis of service. It is the axis of compassion and integration of all things Virgo and Pisces. And so I'm kind of pretty versed when it comes to Pisces Virgo energy. I'm a Pisces rising and I'm a Virgo moon. And so this is going to be huge, right? We're kind of redirecting the collective energies in January towards unity consciousness, our humanitarian concerns, our humanitarian efforts. And this could trigger newfound projects when it comes to your collective mission. We're going to have a rise, I feel, in healers being birthed this year. There's going to be a rise in people who are going to start inspiring hope within the collective, and people who are going to offer visions for the future, healing for the future, and probably some practical solutions to fix what has been broken within our society. And so Pisces Virgo, it's a service axis. And it is the balance between our day-to-day reality, Virgo, right? Our day-to-day routines, our physical health, that's all Virgo. And the need for order, it's all Virgo. And then the Pisces axis is vision. It's spiritual health. It's making sense of the disorders. Pisces is the energy of the infinite. It's the all-seeing energy. It's the end of the zodiac. It's the beginning and the end. And so this is kind of the axis of exaltation for the collective in 2025. It's also the energy of the spiritual fall. And so we're going to have Venus and Mercury both exalted in 2025. And so we're going to be facing like our greatest challenges, and we're going to have to make way to really hone in on our greatest potential. And that's all playing out in January. So I do want to talk a little bit about the Virgo Pisces axis, because if we think about it, it is mind, body, spirit connection. And this is also where we can connect to the lower subconscious and the higher subconscious of the higher mind. And so Virgo is the manifestation of the healer, and Pisces energy is the dissolution of the old cycles. And so it is the most sensitive zodiac axis that we have out of all of the axes, and it represents endings and beginnings, right, in different ways. And so Virgo Pisces is the energy of where heaven and earth collide. It is a spiritual reality that we are infusing into the collective with tangible physical results in our day-to-day reality. And so we're kind of bringing heaven down to earth. We're bridging heaven and earth, just like it was prophesized. And so we're kind of birthing the grounded mystics in 2025. And a grounded mystic is somebody who can navigate both the Piscean heights of intuition and bring that back into the earthly practicality of grounding your service mission and being of service to others. And so right now I feel if you have your birth moon or your ascendant in Pisces, this is going to be a year of some sort of alchemy when it comes to your service mission. And if you are deeply spiritual, then you're probably here to embrace being an agent of expansion for the collective. And so Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So it does naturally provide this foundation for the next cycle that we are entering into. And we are entering into the age of Aquarius. And so this is huge because in about 18 months time, we are going to have the North Node moving into Aquarius. And so all of these energies are preparing us for the foundation, for that next cycle, for that new age. And so Pisces, with Pisces, there's no end, there's no beginning. It's just the two fishes swimming, right, in opposite directions. And so Pisces kind of holds the whole summary of the entire zodiac belt. It is the beginning and it is the end. And it is kind of like the Genesis. So that's happening in January. In February, we are going to have Mars stationing direct. And it will be stationing direct in Cancer at 17 degrees. It's retrograde right now. It has been, right? Just dipped back into Cancer, I believe, or will. And so it's going to go direct in February on the 23rd. And it's going to stay post-shadow until Mars reaches Leo at 6 degrees 10. And then we're kind of out of the post-shadow period. So let's talk a little bit about the Mars energy, because we're still working with this retrograde Mars energy big time right now. And we think of Mars, it represents what we want and what we're willing to do to go after what it is that we want, right? And so during the retrograde, we're kind of forced to slow down. We're forced to back up, reverse it, reevaluate our plans and our goals. If you've noticed, this has really affected me and my work and the channel, this Mars retrograde, myself being a Mars in Leo. And so this has deeply affected my 6th house of Leo and my 5th house of Cancer, which is all about creation for me. And so my energy levels have been inconsistent, and you might find the same issues in regards to your own personal life. And sometimes it's even non-existent. I have no drive to create, no drive to take action, to do anything. And sometimes it's like full blast, and I'm like, I'm raring to go. Like today, I'm like, I'm doing it. I'm recording the video today. I'm feeling like I'm on my A game. And so Mars retrograde in Cancer is the weakening of our day-to-day emotional whims, right? And Mars retrograde in Leo, because it's the representation of the lion, it kind of dims that bright light, right? So I kind of feel like I've had to dim my light a little bit, and it kind of puts a hold on our aspirations, so we can reevaluate and restructure our goals and our dreams for the future. And so with Mars stationing direct in February on the 23rd, it's like we can kind of piece it all together now. And we can go after those aspirations and all of the goals and the plans and the seeds that we've kind of planted, connected to going after what we want. And so we're going to have a better grasp on these goals and how to achieve them after Mars is done its retrograde period. And so this is also where things kind of change, because when Mars does station direct, you might have to go back and revisit something maybe that happened back in October when the retrograde began. It might even bring you further back when it comes to correcting some past actions, because we got to course correct before we can fully move forward, right? So I just feel this is a huge year of like a major cleanup. In February, we are also going to have Jupiter stationing direct in Gemini after months of this retrograde energy, and it's going to go direct at 11 degrees 16 on February the 4th. And so with Jupiter stationing direct, this could trigger an unexpected gamble or taking a risk. This is all about asserting your truth, because with Jupiter retrograde, it was an internal expansion process, and wherever Jupiter was transiting within your own birth chart, you're going to have a better indication of how this retrograde in Jupiter has affected you. And for me, it's in the 4th house of home. It's in the 4th house of deep roots within my family, and so making sense of all of the puzzle pieces. And I have been still in this purging and cleansing process of the home and getting rid of everything that's not of use for me or my kids moving forward into 2025. And I'm sure that will continue probably well into the month of January. But this is all about knowing your truth, knowing what you're talking about, and be mindful though, because when planets station from one direction to the next, this is where we can kind of have a fall of some sort. And so with Jupiter retrograde, it's all about growth, right? Expansion, confidence building, and maybe even reevaluating your luck within your birth chart. But when it goes direct, we're expanding beyond these limitations because we've learned how to expand beyond the limitations, and we're going to gain that new perspective. So things aren't really crystal clear yet, but they will be. And so Jupiter direct is going to trigger changes that you've been working on internally, and now you can see these be manifested in your physical reality when Jupiter stations direct, whatever house Jupiter is traversing through. So I've been manifesting a new home. I've been manifesting a new home that can provide me with an extra space for my healing practice. And so that's what I'm manifesting. And so hopefully Jupiter direct will allow that to kind of be brought into a physical manifestation. But right now, I think we're finally going to be able to reach that bigger perspective on our journey, and we're going to gain that higher truth when Jupiter stations direct. And so in March, we're going to have Venus stationing retrograde. And so Venus is going to be stationing retrograde, and Neptune is also going to be entering into Aries in the month of March. And so from March 1st to April 12th, Venus is going to be in retrograde, starting at Aries, 10 degrees 50, and it's going to station direct in Pisces. And so it's a cleaning up of energies, right? And so Venus goes from Aries backwards into Pisces and then back into Aries. And so this is a very important Venus retrograde, just like the Mars retrograde. So it's going to likely be affecting 2 different houses within your birth chart. So for me, it's going to be my second house of self-worth and self-value, and it's going to be my first house of my most authentic essence, right? In Pisces. And so this retrograde is all about bringing changes of the heart when it comes to relationships. And it's also going to bring a shift in financial priorities. It could bring unexpected downfalls or windfalls. So be consciously aware of this Venus retrograde. It's also where we kind of shift our values when it comes to romance and finances. It's where maybe we're finally ready to make up our mind when it comes to matters of the heart within relationships. So this particular Venus retrograde is kind of connected to the previous Venus retrograde cycles. If you can look back to March and April of 2017, what were you doing then? Or March and April of 2009. And so I know for me what those retrogrades entailed for me and what it meant for me. But what does it mean for you? You're going to have to dig into that yourself. But these planets and these angles that are playing out are really going to affect us all individually differently, right? And so we got to take notice, though, I feel, this Venus retrograde, of any repeating themes or patterns when it comes to relationships and your love life and your finances. So really think back to those previous retrograde dates of March to April 2017 and March to April of 2009. Because that's going to be significant. If I look back to March and April of 2009, I was going through my first Saturn return. And that was when my mother remarried after my parents' divorce. And so that's a huge one for me. In 2017, for me, that was when I pretty much began the closing out of a very toxic cycle with the father of my daughter. It was a very tumultuous, toxic, abusive, back and forth relationship for a very short period of time. And that was the beginning of the end. And I just feel that's kind of reaching its completion right now. I just feel like, like the last 8 to 9 years have been a struggle closing out that cycle and understanding what it is I needed to reflect on when it comes to similar relationship patterns and themes that I've had to go through within my life journey. And so with Neptune entering into Aries, that's going to be happening on March 30th. And this is going to mark the start of a new 165-year cycle around the whole zodiac, right? Because we're closing off the Pisces in Neptune and we're stepping into Aries. And so there's going to be a lot of disillusion about self because we do still have Chiron in Aries. And so with Neptune being in Pisces since 2012, because it spends about 13 years in each zodiac sign, when we change from Pisces to Aries, this is like a huge, huge, big deal. We're closing out like a 13-year cycle. We're entering into a new 13-year cycle with Neptune and Aries. And so this is huge. It's going to impact us all individually, and it's going to impact society as a whole for sure. And when Neptune kind of transits through all of the signs, starting with Aries, it's going to be in Aries until 2038, I think it is. And so for the next 13 years, we're going to have a new vision. We're going to have new innovative ideas connected to the Aries energy. So this is really going to catapult my second house of money, self-worth, and value, and resources. But this is also going to spark a new vision for the collective when it comes to spirituality, medicine, and the esoteric arts. So this is going to get interesting, right? Because Neptune in Aries is also going to join Saturn in Aries in May of 2025, and they're going to kind of be like dancing and holding hands together for a better part of the year. And this is bringing forward new, wonderful, grand ideas, like an Ace of Wands energy coming through. Visionary dreams are going to be very loud, and we're going to have the ability to bring it into our tangible reality, because Aries is the sign of self. And so this is a very personal journey, I feel, for a lot of us going into 2025. And we are all going to be going through profound transformation and profound growth in our lives. Just when you think you've made it, you got another layer of growth and another layer of transformation to go to, or to go through. And so this is also going to bring a clash, though, right? It's going to bring a clashing of energies, because it's going to bring forward a reality check in a certain area of our life. It's going to bring forward challenges when it comes to creating that balance as well, because we're shifting signs, and it's not easy to do that. So in April, not much going on in April. In April, though, Venus is going to be stationing direct, right? We talked about that earlier with the retrograde. And so this is where there's exposure, I feel, where maybe you got taken for a ride by a player. And I also heard it's not over yet. So that's quite interesting. There could be a redo. There could be an exposure of getting played by somebody. But this really is where we change the script. When it comes to relationships, this is where we are given that fresh start in life and in relationships, and we have an opportunity to rewrite our story and to reorient our path towards new love. We're letting go of the past this year, guys. And so relationships with false people, they will have to come to an end, so we can begin to build those new solid divine relationships. And that's going to be taking place in April. So in May, we're going to have Saturn entering Aries on May 24, on May 24th. And so in Canada, we call that May 24. And so Saturn is going to join Neptune in Aries, and they're going to be together for several months in this conjunction, holding hands. Not in a super tight conjunction, but they will be in conjunction, and until September, when Saturn will go retrograde back into Pisces, and that's going to be the cleanup. That's going to be the tying up of loose ends connected to the Piscean themes. And so with Saturn and Neptune conjunct, they're not technically exact conjunct until 2026. This is the beginning of the cleanup process, and this co-presence of these energies together is like the activation point of this very important shift that will be exact in 2026. And so that's where I feel we're going to reach the genesis point of new earth energies. And so in June, Jupiter is entering into Cancer. And so with Jupiter in Cancer, this is the sign of exaltation. Cancer and Jupiter are both associated with themes of growth, tradition, family, home, comfort, and prosperity. And so Jupiter is going to be forming this harmonious water trine that I talked about with Saturn and Neptune as they both retrograde back into Pisces. This is going to take place the last 3 months of the year. And so this transit is going to infuse all areas of Cancer in your chart. So pay attention to your birth chart wherever you have Cancer, especially if you're a Jupiter in Cancer, because this is going to bring forward a sense of abundance. Whether it's connected to your home. For me, Cancer's in the 5th house. This is going to bring an explosion of creative abundance, I feel. And so this is where you're going to need to pinpoint your goals, because you're going to feel more confident wherever Jupiter is traversing at throughout your housing. So be mindful of that. In July, we're going to have Uranus entering Gemini on the 7th of July. And so with Uranus ingressing, this is huge. Uranus is like the big bang. It's the big bang. It's shocking. It's surprises. Uranus is all about change. It's all about innovation. And this energy is going to trigger dramatic, unexpected changes. And what I kept hearing was, hey, it's now or never. And this is where we're kind of at a pivotal turning point. And so when we talk about Uranus, historically, Uranus in Gemini can be a highly eventful energy. It's quick-witted. It's dynamic. Gemini is very dynamic. It's very stimulating. But this is going to bring disruption in your personal life and in the collective. But this is where we inspire these revolutionary changes, rapid revolutionary changes. And so look to the Gemini area of your chart. This might be where I sell my house. But whatever's been prepping that Uranus energy, we've been prepping that area of our chart with Jupiter and Gemini and the retrograde. We've been prepping for that rapid change when Uranus enters into Gemini. And so it's going to be grand ideas and plans. Now we can gain that momentum and we can create that lasting change. So do the work now, guys. Don't avoid doing the work to prepare for this massive shift, because these energies are going to begin the next 7-year cycle. And I talk about it all the time, closing out a 7-year cycle. And so this is going to bring concrete changes into your life. And then between August and September, that's when we're going to have that Uranus, Neptune, Pluto minor triangle playing out. And this is going to open up the doorway to making our dreams a reality. Okay. And so in September, we're going to have Uranus stationing retrograde on the 6th. It's going to go back into Taurus for that final cleanup. And so it's not going to station direct, though, until February 3rd, 2026 at 27 degrees, 27 Taurus. And so this is going to be a powerful opportunity to work on new beliefs, self-beliefs, to build your confidence in your abilities and any new creative projects. So be mindful of that, guys, okay? From October to December, we're going to have that Jupiter trine with Saturn and Neptune. And so this is huge potential to make our dreams a reality, to make your dreams come true. But you're going to have to be exalted, right, with that Jupiter energy. And so we're kind of going through a collective exaltation. And so this really is where the abundance of Jupiter meets the dreamlike qualities of Neptune and the anchoring, grounded energy of Saturn to achieve these dreams and these goals. And so we're not going to keep building castles in the sand in 2025. We're going to be building concrete structure and turning our dreams into reality. And so water trines are great. It's going to be emotional, though. It's good for building emotional connections, deepening spiritual bonds, and embracing this beautiful intuitive flow. So I want to talk quickly about the Mercury retrogrades of 2025, because we're going to have 3 Mercury retrogrades in 2025. The first one in March, on March 15th to April 7th. We're going to have Mercury stationing retrograde in Aries at 9 degrees 35. And we are going to have it stationing direct in Pisces at 26 degrees 49. And so this is where we do a deep dive into our inner wounding, and we come out with a fresh new perspective about what our true wish fulfillment will be. And on July the 18th, we're going to have our second Mercury retrograde in the sign of Leo going direct on August 11th, just days after the 8/8 Lionsgate portal in Leo at 4 degrees 14. And so this is bringing forward almost this sense of divine intervention in the summer. And then our third Mercury retrograde is November 9th to November 29th. And it's going to begin in Sagittarius at 6 degrees 51. And it's going to dip back into Scorpio and go direct in Scorpio at 20 degrees 42. And so there is this quality playing out in 2025 of like the Lovers with the King of Swords. And this is about making those firm decisions in relationships. And there's going to have to be a final judgment call made when it comes to 2 of Cups situations, whether they're serving you or not. So let's talk about the eclipses because we're going to have 4 eclipses with the Virgo Pisces axis in 2025, and eclipses are always fated, right? We really aren't supposed to be manifesting or doing anything during eclipse season other than allowing this fated energy to bring forward a karmic recalibration. And so eclipses are always going to be catalysts for growth and change, to help us close out the old chapters, say goodbye to the old patterns, and begin a new chapter and begin a whole new era. And so Pisces North Node, Virgo South Node will be most affected depending on the degrees of your North and South Node. And then North Node Virgo and Pisces South Node, you are going through a nodal reversal. And so this is also very significant. Have you learned your lessons? Have you learned your lessons? And so all of these eclipses are carrying forward a very powerful energy, but one stood out more than the other. One was not quite like the other, and that was the eclipse on September 21st, because it is going to be happening at the very last degree of Virgo, 29 degrees Virgo. So this is going to be especially potent because this eclipse is going to be happening at 29 degrees in Virgo. And then it is going to go right to that 0 degree of Libra energy. And so this particular alignment, this particular eclipse is bringing a massive push, like that final push that I've been talking about from the old timeline towards building that new timeline, that new earth energy, that whole new world, right? And so if you have personal planets or angles at this degree or within, I'm even going to say like an 8-degree orb, this particular eclipse is going to be especially relevant. And I'm kind of hoping for the best here because I am a Virgo moon at 22 degrees. And so we'll break it down. We've got our first eclipse happening in March on the 14th. And this is a total South Node lunar eclipse, a total eclipse at 23 degrees Virgo. And so because it's a South Node eclipse, this is burying the past. It's releasing the past. This South Node lunar eclipse is going to be almost exact conjunct my Virgo moon. And it's all going to be sitting in my 7th house. And so I know I'm burying the past. I'm burying all of the men that I've dated. I'm burying the past. I'm done. I'm ready for the new now. On March 29th, we're going to have that partial North Node solar eclipse at 9 degrees Aries. And so very interesting, right? And then on September 7th, we're going to have the North Node lunar eclipse at 15 degrees Pisces. And then on September 21st, there's that last one, that 29th degree in Virgo. And so I just feel something very profound is about to happen this year. I don't know what it is, but we can all feel it building. The energies, even with this new moon in Capricorn we've been sitting in, have been so freaking impactful. There was a major purge for me, so I can finally redefine my future and my goals moving forward. But I feel this is the year where forever the collective course will be redefined, and we are manifesting that new earth template. So remember though, opportunities will always be presented, but we have to go after them. We have to seize these opportunities or they will pass us by because time waits for nobody. So don't stay stuck in the past. Do not cling to any old, outdated relationships that don't match your values or your goals or your future aspirations. Let them go. Just let them go. Let it be, let it go. Let God kind of handle the recalibration, because there's going to be new opportunities coming forward in 2025 that are going to be better aligned with our reality, with our goals. And it's just all kind of it's waiting to be like discovered. So that's what I got for the astrology for 2025. I think I thought I was going to pull in with cards. I'm kind of on the fence still because I just heard the little one upstairs. So I'm not sure if I've got enough time to do the cards. Let's do some cards. Let's do some cards. Okay. Let's pull in with some oracle cards and let's see if we can dig a little bit deeper into what to expect for 2025. Okay, let's do it. I am a galactic starseed blooming. I did pick a deck, so we will start with the Cosmic Journey Oracle deck. So let's see. I am a cosmic starseed blooming, and then look at that. Fulfill your destiny as a cosmic change maker. And so we can't keep pouring from these empty cups, right? So we are here to be healers for the world. We are here to heal ourselves as well. And so we can't pour from an empty cup. And so you might have a galactic grandmother on the other side that is allowing you to create this change. But let's see what the cards have to say for 2025. What do you got for us? I am a galactic starseed blooming. That was on the bottom of the deck, and it came out again. And so this is a year of healing. It is a 17 card, which is connected to the age of Aquarius, Aquarian energy, the star. So we get right into this reality. So we are writing our own reality. It's so interesting because I turned on the Google Home Mini. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yesterday evening, last evening. And it was that Natasha Bedingfield song, The Rest is Still Unwritten. And so we're kind of being given this blank page, this blank canvas, and the future is not written yet. Nothing is written in stone. And so we get to write our reality into existence. And so your greatest joy is really what we're here to deliver to the world. So let's get one more card out. Thank you. Say yes to this open door. That is what you are being asked of. Say yes to this open door. And it's a 22 card. So it's the energy of the Fool. So we do have a brand new beginning being presented in 2025. But it will require taking charge of your destiny and to stop living life with those rose-colored glasses on. Okay. And so there's like DNA encodement, I feel, being activated to kind of solidify that crystalline light body activation that I know I went through that back in 2019, and it takes years to ground in the crystallization of the DNA activation. But it's like you're laying down the burdens and you're plugging back in to the galactic energies. And so are you ready to say yes to this open door in 2025? And so I'm going to read the galactic starseed. But I do feel there's a new door opening, and you got to say yes to life. You got to say yes to love, because there's like this cosmic catalyst of energies playing out. And so what seeds have you already planted that are about ready to bloom in 2025? And so this is all about the veil being lifted. And so the veil is about to be lifted to allow you to remember your galactic mission in 2025. So we are all galactic starseeds, and we're all blooming where we're planeted right here on Earth. And so we are born with these seeds instilled in our DNA. They are encoded in our DNA structure, and they all get activated at exactly the right divine time for this galactic mission of this new Earth timeline. And so the seeds we plant are designed to be abundant. So if you're still struggling with that lack mentality, get out of that lack mentality, because the right seeds will always bloom in the right timing. But we also have to provide the right nourishment. We have to water the seeds. We have to give the seeds sunlight and fresh air and nourishment. And so allow yourself to nourish your path in 2025. Take actions towards what it is you want to grow in 2025. Make time in your schedule regularly to nourish these seeds that you're planting, right? Because we're writing something into our reality. So what is that? What is that? Let's just read into the book. I don't use this deck very often, because I feel we're kind of at that divine Y point. And so if your pen was a magic wand, what would you write for the next chapter of your life? What would you write? So identify one specific thing that you want to see within the year of 2025, and write down how the universe can conspire to make this happen. Okay, and so each day, each and every single day, we're given a blank canvas, right? In the book of our life to write a new page. And so the next chapter is ready to be written right now. So what do you want in your existence? Because grab the pen and write it into your existence. Whatever is meant for you will be written into reality in 2025. And so there's going to be new downloads. There's going to be, like I said, new mystic healers being birthed. The universe is bringing all of this into a very real, grounded, current reality. So how can you kind of turn off that inner critic, which is the Virgo South Node energy, and just brush it off. Just brush off that inner critic. because we are here to be the hero of our own life. And we all have a divine destiny. And I do feel it's going to be perfectly unfolding in 2025 for so many of us starseeds. So journaling, if you are not a journaler, this is the perfect time to align with journaling, because it does allow you to get your thoughts out of your head and to step into your higher essence. So what is the worst thing that can happen if you write down your dreams? Are you scared for your dreams to become a reality? Because we are being asked to say yes to this open door right now. So maybe within even the next 11 days, you're going to have an opportunity to say yes to a new open doorway, or an invitation might come your way. So if you would normally say no, I know I normally say no, it's time to start saying yes. So when we say yes, we open the doorway to embrace the flow of life. And just because we say yes doesn't mean that it will be long term. But if we don't say yes, then we might regret something. We might miss out on something. So let your life just unfold in 2025. Each time you say yes, or each time you're invited to go somewhere, like on a date, or just to go and have coffee with a friend, say yes. Say yes. Because life is waiting to meet us all in 2025. But we do all have free will in this dimension, and we do have to take action towards our goals too. So remember that. But a yes is telling the universe, please keep opening more doors, more opportunities for me. Because every time a doorway is open and you say no, you're telling the universe, I don't need that opportunity. And then you're going to have no opportunities being presented to you. So yes is the best way to embrace 2025. Say yes. Say yes. Okay. Let's pull in with some tarot. Let's use the Angel Wisdom Tarot deck. And let's see what we got. Look at a year of balance and juggling. A year of juggling priorities, balancing our priorities and getting back on track. And so we've been walking this tightrope for a while, right? You think of juggling, it's a game. And this person is juggling two timepieces or watches, and he's got 2 coins up in the air too. He's got 2 time watches and 2 coins. And so there's going to be a flipping of the scales, I feel. There's going to be a blending, an alchemizing of energies, of healing, of ideas. There's going to be new collaborations. There's going to be a balancing of your priorities, and maybe even balancing out that budget. I've been paying off my trip to England, and it's getting down there, thank goodness. But this is going to be a year of embracing self-control, is really what I feel. So if you've been teetering on the fence about a decision, I think 2025 is the year where you finally make that decision. So let's get 9 of these cards out, and let's see what 2025 has for us when it comes to this open door. So what is this open door all about? I'm so curious to see. The 3 of Wands. The Emperor, very interesting. And the 5 of Cups. So the 3 of Wands is all about taking action to these long-term plans that you've got, right? This is about a manifestation. Maybe you've manifested a life partner. Maybe you've asked for an emperor. Maybe you've asked maybe to leave a divine counterpart situation behind. I know that was the intention I set under the Capricorn new moon, was to unhook myself from this twin flame journey once and for all, so I can finally go forward and decide my reality like that person has used their free will. And so I think 2025 is the year of no longer focusing on the negative, no longer getting so entrenched in the twin flame story or the twin flame journey. But this could also be a manifestation of a divine masculine. This is also the energy of accepting a leadership role. So this is about forgiveness, right? The releasing or the unhooking is the forgiveness, right? And understanding that everything kind of happens for a reason. We get the Knight of Swords out. We get the fireworks. I'm hearing that Katy Perry song, Baby, You're a Firework. And I'm pretty sure in that song it talks about walking through a doorway. But I do feel 2025 is going to be a year of unexpected events, rapid acceleration when it comes to ascension and changes. There's going to be a lot going on in 2025. We're going from the energy of water to fire. It's like going to burn the whole wreckage down is what it feels like. And so things are moving very quickly. We've got the fastest knight in the deck. And so this is guided action, decisive focus, guided action being taken over the emotional lack that we've kind of been sifting through. I'm going to say for about the last 5 years in the collective, it's just been things not turning out the way we've anticipated. It's been learning to shift the negative mindset into a positive thought process and understanding like, hey, sometimes things just happen and you got to get to a point of it is what it is. We get the 10 of Wands. And so we're laying down the burdens of the past. In 2025, we're all done. We're all done overworking. We're all done slaving away, working all kinds of overtime. We're creating that work-life balance in 2025 as well. And so this is a year of learning to let people help you, learning to overcome health problems. And when we play into the negative focused energy, we create health problems, we create stress. And so we're putting that burden down in 2025, and there's that clean slate. There's that say yes to this golden opportunity. And so the Page of Pentacles is saying, yes, there's a brand new opportunity here, but it's a page. So it will take a lot of hard work and dedication. This could be a year of embracing newfound studies, esoteric studies. I know I'm really excited to dig into some more coursework that I've had on my list forever, but just feels like there's never enough time. And so this is a year of opportunities being presented. News coming in, career promotions. You could be receiving a scholarship if that's applicable to you. But this is about entering a new era, a new age of study. And we go from the page to the Four of Wands. And then we close it off with the Nine of Swords. And so we've got to release the fear. We have to release the fear, and the universe will always provide for us. So I think 2025 is laying down the burden of grief, of emotional struggle, and laying down the burden of unfounded fear. That's really what it is. And so there is fear. We will have to work through collective fear going into this new cycle, because let's face it, change is scary. Change is debilitating. It's awful to go through, but on the other side of the change, it is well worth the struggle that we go through and facing of the fear. And so stop expecting the worst, because this is a year of rapid manifestations. And if you're focusing on the negative, you're going to keep recreating the reality of negativity. And so on the bottom of the deck, we get the King of Coins to the Knight of Coins to the Ten of Cups. And so plant those seeds well this year, because the seeds are being planted, and there's going to be an opportunity for emotional contentment, your dreams to become a reality, to build that happily ever after. But it's going to take loyal dedication. And so I do feel there could be a manifestation of a love offer coming through. There could just be a manifestation of success, financial security, success, because I see the wheel. And so this is going to be a year of faded endings, faded new beginnings, unexpected movement. But the wheel is saying, however this change is manifested, it really is positive, even if it doesn't feel like it at first, right? Because this is about bringing real change into your reality and awakening. Awakening to maybe see things in a whole new light. Awakening to your gifts, to your uniqueness. Maybe awakening to your service mission, your charitable mission, and the actions that you take to do your part to create this whole new world within the collective. But I feel 2025 is calling in people we can trust. There's going to be a need to multitask, because things are going to be moving very, very quickly. So let's dig a little bit deeper into this Eight of Wands. So what is this Eight of Wands all about? Because I just feel like within the next 8 months, there's going to be a lot to celebrate here in 2025. Balance. So it might take the next 8 months to create this blending, to create something very extraordinary. But there's balance, and there's a lot of beautiful, extraordinary energies coming through within the next 8 months is what this feels like. The Sun. Maybe by Leo season, you will be fully grounded in joy, success. There's going to be, I feel, a lot of epiphanies, a lot of spiritual downloads coming forward very rapidly that are going to create magical opportunities for change. So give gratitude to the divine, because being grateful and having gratitude builds more abundance in the long haul, okay, and renewal. So a year of awakening. So this could be a major review of the past. It is the energy of judgment, and if you can see, we got that Pluto energy coming through. And we do have Pluto now in Aquarius, and it's going to go into retrograde. I think it's May. If I look at my retrograde papers, Pluto will go retrograde May 4th, and it will go direct on October the 13th. And so we have an opportunity to head in a new direction, but it's going to take compassion and forgiveness of the past to be able to move forward. And so I think this is a year of gaining clarity. This is a year of knowing what your purpose is and going after it, because you know in your heart of hearts what it is you need to do. And so get ready to make some choices. We can't keep staying in these states of overanalyzing and procrastinating, because the future is now. The future is right now. And so we are all being called to move forward from addictions. And that can be an addiction to a person, an addiction to a mindset or a belief or an idea. Do I believe in twin flame? Absolutely. Because you can't deny the activation that I've gone through and how this has transformed my life over the course of the last 6 or 7 years now. And so it really is time to move forward. So if you do desire that union and you're in a twin flame separation situation, unhook yourself. Unhook yourself from that belief that that is the only person that can be for you, because the world is filled with billions of people, and this was an activation for your purpose and your mission. And not all twin flames have that union, but there is a possibility to bring peace and prosperity into your personal life, and it could lead to some type of union or engagement or higher commitment in 2025. But I think things are moving forward very quickly, and it is time to unhook ourselves from an old mindset or an old belief or any type of an illusion of being trapped in a situation, because for years I have felt trapped and stuck with no way forward, because the counterpart that activated me has stayed stuck in another karmic relationship cycle. But that's where that person is meant to be, because there's lessons there that need to be learned that I can't teach that person. And so this is a year of taking action, staying focused. There could be a whole lot of opportunities for passionate relationships, but you have to be willing to say yes to that open door. Don't stay stuck on one certain person or belief if you've been in this state of overanalyzing or procrastinating, because this is a year of the teachers being born. The teachers of the teachers are on the rise here, and we got to learn to stand up for ourselves and for our beliefs. And this is about stepping into our power. 2025 is a year of stepping into our power and being guided by the divine to move forward into this state of spiritual unity within the community, within our lives. And so trust. This is a year of trusting that the answers will always come, and the divine is always there to help us. We need only ask. And so I do feel we are shifting from traditional societal methods. We're breaking down the status quo. We're coming into new ideas, and we're finally getting ready to go after what is best for us. Right? So release those unwise choices. If you're dealing with somebody that, has questionable motives or lacks integrity, let them go. There's a better way. There's always going to be a better option. Trust your intuition, because there is a golden opportunity here to build a lot of abundance, but we do have to go after it. We have to go after it. So 2025 might bring in a windfall, the purchase of a new home that I'm manifesting. And it might even just bring in an abundance of psychic insight. So be prepared to follow your heart. I think that is the message of 2025, because we are healing and we are manifesting wishes coming true. And so we're birthing the wounded healers in 2025. So ask your angels and your guides for help. Be prepared for anything to happen in 2025, and be prepared to make a decision and have faith. Have faith. And that's what I have for the astrology of 2025. I hope this reading serves you well. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below if you would like to book in with me for mentorship or a personal reading. Please feel free to check out the webpage. I would love to get that booked in for you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Happy New Year. And I'm looking forward to the growth of us all coming together on the channel in 2025. Thank you.